Unit 3, page 81. Focus on listening. Task 3.
Listen about Penny Palmano.
It might be difficult to accept, but a new approach to dealing with rude or difficult teenagers is for parents to look at their own behavior. The key to getting teenagers to respect you is to respect them first, says Penny Palmano, who has written a best-selling book on teenagers. You can't continue to treat them the same way that you have been treating them for the previous 12 years. They have opinions that count. Imagine if you'd spend 2 hours getting ready to go out for the evening and someone said, "You're not going out looking like that, are you?" You'd be very upset. You'd never say that to an adult because it shows a total lack of respect. Palmano, who has a daughter aged 19 and a 16-year-old stepdaughter, has even allowed the children to hold several teenage parties at their home. They passed without problems. I found that if you have brought them up to do the right thing and then trust them to do it, usually they'll behave well, she says. I make them sandwiches and leave them alone, but I make it clear that they have to clear up any mess. I've never had a problem. In fact, the kitchen was sometimes cleaner than I'd left it. She agrees that teenagers can be irritating, enjoying a world that is free of responsibility, yet desperate for independence. She doesn't think, however, they are trying to annoy you. Until recently, scientists assumed that the brain finished growing at about the age 13, and that teenage problems were a result of rising hormones and a desire for independence. But it turns out that the region of the brain that controls judgment and emotions is not fully mature until the early 20s. This would explain why many teenagers can't make good decisions, control their emotions, prioritize, or concentrate on several different things at the same time. For example, they may find it difficult to make the right decision between watching television, ringing a friend, or finishing their homework. It means that they do not intentionally do the wrong things just to annoy their parents, says Palmano. The key to happiness for all, Palmano believes, is calm negotiation and compromise. If you want your teenagers to be home by 11 p.m., explain why, but listen to their counter-arguments. If it's Saturday, you might consider agreeing to midnight rather than 1 a.m., which is what they had in mind. If they are up to 20 minutes late, don't react angrily. Instead, ask if they've had a problem with public transport and let it pass. They've almost managed what you asked. She urges a bit of perspective about other things too. There have been times when my daughter's room has not been as tidy as I expected, but as she said once, "I'm a teenager. What do you expect? I'm not turning into a criminal. That's just clothes on the floor." It's vital to choose your battles carefully. Don't criticize teenagers for having an untidy room and then suddenly criticize them for other things. On these occasions, parents tend to mention all the other things that they may or may not have done wrong. 1 minute, it's about an untidy room, and the next, you're saying, "and another thing," and criticizing them for everything.